Hey, what's going on? Travis here with TravisSubs.com, coming to you, about to go over day number 1 of the 12 Days of Badassness. Alright, and if you're not sure what the 12 Days of Badassness are quite yet, there should be a link popping up right now. Go ahead and click on that link. It'll take you to an overview video which will explain what the 12 Days of Badassness are, and it'll give you all that awesome information so you can follow along and take on this challenge. Alright, so with that, let's go over day number 1. Alright, day number 1 with the 12 Days of Badassness is going to be 25 burpees. So one set of 25 burpees. Alright, and with this, I wanted to go over a couple burpee tips and tricks. Alright, so if you've been training for any amount of time now, it's pretty much a given. You probably know what burpees are. Alright, so they're also called up-downs. Bottom line is, they're everybody's favorite exercise. Alright, great conditioning movement. Alright, but at the same time, they're not really anybody's favorite exercise. Alright, so what I wanted to do is just go over a couple major mistakes that I see being made with burpees, and then I'll go over a couple tips and tricks to help you become more efficient at the movement, because becoming more efficient at the movement is going to allow you to do better things and reap more rewards from the movement. Alright? So, first major mistake I see being made is when people go down into a burpee, their elbows flare out, their hands are in a bad position. Alright? So, what I'm talking about here is when you go into a burpee, boom, I see elbows out here. Okay, so that's putting your shoulders in a bad position. That's not putting you in a good position for a strong push on the bottom. Alright? So we never want to have our elbows flared out. We want to apply the same principles that we apply to good, solid push-ups to our burpees. Alright? So that means when you pop down for your burpee, we're here, boom, you want to set up so your hands are right below your shoulders. We don't want to be too far in front. We don't want to be too far behind our shoulders. We want to be right below our shoulders. Alright? That's going to give us leverage to push out of the bottom of the burpee the best, just like with your push-ups. Alright? Another key tip that you want to focus in on is keeping your elbows in tight. Alright? That's going to help keep your shoulders healthy over the long haul, but also keeping your elbows in tight is, again, going to put you in a better position to get out of that bottom more efficiently. Alright, when you start to get those elbows out, that's when we're going to run into trouble. Another thing is, make sure your hands are always set, fingers straight ahead. Alright, I've seen people go down into burpees and their fingers are facing out, okay? I don't know how they can do that, especially when you're doing higher rep burpees. That's going to definitely take a toll on your upper body and not allow you to get as many reps in due to efficiency. Alright? So it's all about efficiency with these. Alright? Consistent, efficient movement. Alright? So that's the first tip. Hands, positioning, elbows in tight. It's going to help you get a good strong press out of the bottom. Next tip, with your feet. Okay? You can go a lot closer with your feet, or you can go out to about squat width apart. Alright? Big mistake that I see people making is, especially when they get tired, is their feet get way out wide. Alright, so it's not going to be very efficient if we're here, going down into a burpee, popping up, your feet are way out here. We're not very explosive from this position. Alright, it's going to take a lot more energy to get off the ground with our feet wide, plus it's going to wear us down a lot quicker. Alright? And we're just not very efficient in that position. So you want to think about, where are my feet for my body weight squats? So typically about shoulder width apart, toes out just a little bit. As you squat down, knees are always out. We never want to have the knees in. Alright, so with your feet, you want to start with your feet around squat distance apart, or you can even start with your feet a little bit closer. It'll come down to mobility. Alright, if you've got better mobility, you'll be better off with your feet closer. If you're lacking in the mobility department a little bit, widen your feet out a little bit. Alright? So from here, starting with your feet shoulder width apart, as we go down, boom, we're here, kicking the feet back, we're in that push position, popping up, boom. As soon as we land on the burpee here, notice my feet are in squat distance apart, knees are out, boom. You're going to be a lot more explosive from that position. You'll be able to get your jump a lot easier from there versus being nice and wide here. Okay, we don't want to be too wide. All right. Now I can demo with my feet in closer. Boom, we're here. Still, when I pop up, I'm focusing on having those knees out. That's where we're going to generate that torque, be stronger in that position, and then we're going to have those knees in. All right, so those are a couple things that you want to focus in on right there with your feet and your positioning with your feet. All right, so hands, feet. Now let's talk about the midsection. All right, so your core. We've got to maintain a tight core. All right, it's hard, especially when we start doing higher rep burpees. And you're doing burpees combined with other different movements. All right, so when you start to get tired, that's when things go out the window. But you want to just focus in on being efficient, being in a good position, especially with your midsection. All right. So one of the worst things you can do is just get loose in the midsection. So your burpees start to look like this. We're popping up. Feet are getting wide. We don't want to do that. All right. Keep a tight midsection. All right. So it all starts right at the start position. So feet are set. Boom. As I go down, I'm going to push my butt back. Keep your chest nice and tall. Core tight. All right. So we don't want to loosen up here. It's here. Boom. You kick back. Keep those abs tight. All the way down, popping up. Now, if you want to stay tight here, just like a regular push-up, boom. Now we're in this bottom squat position. Boom, explode up. All right. We don't want to lose that position. We don't want to lose that core tightness. All right. Now, a couple things happen when we start to get tired with burpees. And I'll go over it here real quick. Is when we come down, boom, you start to see this here, where we pop up, we leave our hips behind. All right, and we can actually use this to our advantage, but you've got to maintain that core tightness. All right. So instead of coming here and being loose in your core, we need to stay tight in the core. You can leave your hips behind, but then we can just explode ahead. Boom, with those hips, pop back up, back down, here, boom, pop back up, right there. It all comes down to keeping that core tight, all right? If we lose that tightness there, then we're basically just flopping up and down with the movement, all right? So those are a couple tips and tricks that you can use to help improve your efficiency with your burpees, all right? So hands, elbows, positioning with the hands, all right? That's going to allow you to be stronger out of that push. Feet, all right? Feet. Make sure we're squat distance apart or closer. Make sure those knees are always coming out. And then with your core, make sure we're maintaining the core activity, staying tight in the core, and we're just not flopping up and down. Focus in on those things. They'll allow your burpees to become more efficient, and you'll be able to do more of them faster, all right, over a period of time, especially when you're adding them with other movements, all right? So that is your tips and tricks for burpees, and as well as day number 1 of the 12 days of badassness, 25 burpees. So over the course of the 12 days, you're going to be doing 25 burpees every single day. All right, so we're going to be getting in a lot of burpees over the next 12 days. All right, so again, check out the overview video of the 12 days of badassness so you know what's going on. Join in on the challenge, see how you can do, and as always, going 110% ham, live and train aggressive. Travis, I'm out.